Hi guys, Ian from the Football Biz team, and in today's video we'll be looking at the Nike Mercurial Superfly. The 2021 Superfly, we'll be comparing them to previous generations, we'll be comparing them to other Nike boots, and we're letting you know whether they're going to fit you, whether they're going to suit you. So we're going to start off by looking at the upper on these. These have the Vaporposit upper, a change, a switch up. They're not completely Flyknit now, but they are very thin and very soft to wear. They're obviously kind of high-end boot from Nike. Now let's compare them to the previous generation. So last year we had the Superfly 7, and now we have the 8s. Now they've got, as you can see, little cutouts in the upper to reduce the weight, and they have a very similar feeling upper. It is perhaps a little softer. It has a little bit of extra texture on the new one, so you can feel the grip and stuff. Now you can see the colors in the Dragonfly release here compared to the neighborhood pack that they had for the 7s. You can just see all the different sections of how the boot is made up. They're all numbered individually to tell you what each part of the boot that goes together to make it is, rather than you have this one whole piece of Flyknit material on the 7s. It's separate pieces put together on this. Now let's talk about how they fit compared to the Phantom GT, because the Phantom GT, it focuses on this off-center lacing area, and it means that they're going to fit wider feet. So Flyknit upper on the Phantom GTs, the upper on the Superfly, it is much more narrow, so it's going to suit a narrow foot. You can see how they're laced straight down the middle. That also suits the narrower foot, and you'll just know immediately when you try on both of these boots which one's going to work best for you. So you can see I've got one on each foot here at the moment, and you can just tell whether your foot shape is going to suit having that wider space at the front, which you get with the Phantom GT, or whether your foot actually suits having that narrower space down the middle. Now, let's talk about the upper on the different types of Superflies. There is the Elite, the Pro, the Academy, and the Club, and those are the different price points and how you go through all of those. The sole plate is also variable depending on what boots you're going for. So you've got the firm ground version, the artificial version, and then the soft ground. They come with the anti-clog studs. They are not removable anymore on these. They used to be removable, but they're not anymore on the anti-clog. But there is a fantastic sole plate, and depending on which boot you go with, you can get slightly different sole plates. You can get a mixed ground sole plate in the cheaper versions. Now, talking about sole plates, just look and see what the changes are with this new release. So you can see those cutouts in the heel area of the sole plate are the same between the 7 and 8. They have introduced this kind of extra spine down the middle, and then you still have this AeroTrack sole plate at the front, but it doesn't quite have that arrowhead that you can see on the 7 on the right hand side, or the left as it is now, but they have got that similar shape to them. Very similar chevron shaped studs on the firm ground ones that we're comparing here, and you can just see that blue outline bit is kind of showing you the top of that AeroTrack aspect in there. Quite similar but not exactly the same, just little enhancements that they've made. Now you can see how the Phantom GT actually has its spine just down one side of the boot, has the cutouts in slightly different places, and then it uses slightly different studs as well, so you get a little bit more rotational traction on the Phantoms than you do on the straight line speed of the Superflies. Again, you can see the differences in those sole plates that I was talking about from earlier on, and I'll just go through. You've got the Elite, was obviously the most expensive, down to the Club, which is the cheapest. Now, how responsive these boots are is how well they react to your movements, and the idea of these are pure speed boots. They've got to react well to what you do. They are also relatively lightweight for a boot that has a collar. If you take that collar off with the Vapors, then you go even lighter. The collar itself is still Flyknit, so they've kept that from the previous generations. The collar is Flyknit, even though we're now working with a different upper material in that Vaporposit. The compression on these is pretty good around the ankle. If you don't like it, then go for the Vapor version instead. Let's have a little look and see what they've changed between the Superfly 7s that you can see here in this grey. They put Superfly 360 on there, talking about how the Flyknit was going 360 degrees around the boot. Obviously it doesn't anymore. You can see a slightly different shape to the collar here. So the collar goes all the way around the top. There's not that little tab that you have on the Superfly 7, but you're not going to notice it that much when you're playing in them. It isn't a big change. Maybe it looks slightly higher, I would suggest, on the 8s than the 7s, but it is very minimal. Alright, so these boots are a narrow fit. We obviously talked about how they compared to the GTs. That narrow fit is going to be great for your straight line speed, and if your foot shape suits these boots. They are true to size. Obviously, if you've got a wide foot, you might have to go up half a size to get into them, but otherwise you should go to your normal size. And here you can now see lacing up the Superfly 7 compared to the Superfly 8. They are very similar shapes on feet. You will find that if you enjoyed the fit of the Superfly 7, then you will again be enjoying the fit of the Superfly 8. It is just the evolution in these boots. Really, when you've got them on, you won't notice that much of a difference. It is just the finer little details that have been changed here and there. And you can see on feet how they sit and what they look like. Alright, now if we compare the fit of the Superfly 8 to the Phantom GT, it really does come to that extra space just around kind of where your toes start. So it's that wider aspect of the boot. You can feel you're much more locked in straight down the middle on the Superflies, and then there's that widening of space on the Phantom GT. So again, as I said before, it really comes down to how they fit your foot. Please let me know in the comments which one you think is best for you. Now, talking about players, you've got key players who are wearing the Superfly. You've got Ronaldo, Sancho, and Mbappe. Those are the main players, and you'll see them in the Superflies. Overall, these are the ratings for the boots. Guys, let me know what you think about these boots out of 100 in the comments. Thanks very much for watching. Go enjoy your football.